Hi everyone, this is JelArts and I'm back with another video for you. And this time I'm doing one of those Disney Screencap repaint challenge thing that I've seen people doing a lot. It's where you find a screen capture from like a Disney movie or any movie. It doesn't have to be Disney, but I just chose to do Disney. I chose the Little Mermaid and I chose a picture of Ariel, and I think she's by a large boat underwater. Well, of course she's underwater because it's the Little Mermaid, but I know there's scenes where she's walking on land, but anyway. So I just tried to, this was like more of like a study. It was very interesting to see what colors were actually used and what colors were used together to get highlights, and I was eyedropping the colors just to get the proper color palette. And it was really interesting to see how the different colors work together and all the different colors that the original artist used in the movie. And I found her pose really hard to emulate because her waist is so tiny in the original. Much like most Disney movies, they make their waists really, really tiny. So I tried to make it slightly thicker, but it's still like smaller than it should be because it's a stylized style of drawing. And I had a lot of fun painting her hair and just all the different colors on, like the color of her tail, like that nice turquoise color was really fun to shade. And I like to add texture and hair strands when I was actually coloring her hair, but you'll see that later on. And yeah, I just found the pose really hard to get at first because I kept making her head too big, and I just kept making the whole pose too big, so I kept having to scale it down, and I couldn't get her eyes quite right at first, but I still wanted the eyes to kind of look like a mixture between Disney and also my style. I don't know if I succeeded on that or not, but yeah, I found the hands fairly easy just because they're very simplified in the screen capture, and I had like a really clear reference, and like I didn't have to make it up, like it's already right there in front of you. So I think I'll probably do this again. It's just, I think it's a really good learning experience, and it allows you to show your style of coloring compared to just the flat colors of the Disney screen capture. But mostly the backgrounds in animated movies are shaded, and the characters seem to have flat colors, so it was fun to like see what it would look like if the character was shaded more realistic, in a more realistic way. And I thought that the style kind of turned out really interesting because I was basing it off of the Disney style, but it also kind of has my style in it as well, especially with the face. So you can tell that it's supposed to be Disney, but you can tell there's something a little bit different about it. And also, like, I made her waist hopefully more realistic. And I'm not quite sure if like the angle with her arm is correct, but I just went, like, the reference looks okay, but the way I drew it seems to not look quite right. I think it's just like that particular frame must just, I don't know. I think there's just something odd about like her other shoulder, but I'm not quite sure exactly what I should change about it if I had to change anything. I was just trying to go off the reference. And I really like shading red colors digitally because I just like adding the orange highlights. I think that's really fun. And her eyes are really fun to color as well. I enjoyed that a lot. I never really noticed that Ariel's eyes were blue. I guess I haven't seen the movie enough to know that. I think I've only seen The Little Mermaid like once or twice. The only Disney movie I've seen like multiple times is probably Tangled and Frozen. I've just seen those a lot. And I've also watched Mulan quite a bit as well. Maybe I'll do one from Mulan in the future. But yeah, this was really fun to do, and I would definitely recommend it if you're just looking for something fun to do. Something that could be for good practice, or just like it's kind of like a cool type of fan art if you don't really like doing fan art. Like I haven't done much fan art at all. I prefer to draw original things, but this kind of fan art I really enjoy to do. I really enjoyed doing. Yeah, it was fun to like emulate her expression and her pose, and to also add a hint of your own style. I think I've said that a lot now. But yeah, it might be hard to see what changes I'm making because they're very small, but the video is not paused. Like I actually I am making small adjustments, it might be hard to see, like if you might have to make it full screen to see exactly what I am changing. It's not as easy to see because it's my hand's not there, like it's just the screen that's being recorded. Yeah, I did really enjoy this, and I think I like the way it turned out. Definitely eyedropping the colors really helps to make it look like the original, but it might be a fun challenge to try to do it without eyedropping the colors or using your own lighting, like maybe changing the lighting would be a cool thing to do. I think my favorite part of doing it is definitely the background. The background was a lot of fun to try to like copy the texture. Paint Tool size kind of limited with textures and different brushes, but I just put the brush onto the spread setting. It was either spread or spread and noise, but that gives you a nice texture for the background if you need anything to look a little bit rough. And I wasn't sure when I would stop coloring. It's always hard to know, like, when have you shaded it enough and when have you cleaned it up enough, because I always merge all my colors and my line art together and then I blend over top of all of that. So I never know when is a good point to stop. So for this one, I just decided once it looked okay from a distance, then I would stop coloring it, because it's also a very small file. I didn't make it as large as I wanted it to, so it's a very low resolution, and it's mostly just for practice anyway, so I don't really need it to be super high definition or anything like that. So now I'm just adding a little bit of details to her hair. I went in with overlay and added some shines as if light was coming from above, and I was playing with background options, but I just decided to leave it as a normal square, just for this one anyway, so that it matched the reference a bit better. So now I was just going in, making sure that the background looked the way it was supposed to, cleaning up any lines. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this process, and I hope that you will try this as well. It's very fun. It's a fun challenge, and it actually, you end up learning a bit about color theory and just like different styles and different ways to paint backgrounds. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.